Hi there, I'm Alicia Skye. I'm a podcast host and business coach, and I am so grateful to say that I live in my dream home. And this would have never happened had I not strategically bought my first house many, many years ago. In fact, it was in 2005. And I'm going to talk to you today about how to buy your first home. And the key word here is first. It's not necessarily your forever home or your dream home. So keep that in mind as you're looking at what your requirements are for this home. If your dream is to always have a 3-car garage, but maybe right now you need to start out with a condo because that's what you can afford, that's okay. Just make sure it has parking if that's what you require. My first place was a condo. It was a 1-bedroom, 1-bath condo in a decent area. And people had given me advice like, don't buy a 1-bedroom, buy a 2-bedroom, but I wasn't budgeted for a 2-bedroom. So I had a 1-bedroom, and over the years, that value appreciated to the point where I was able to sell it and make a nice profit and then buy a different, bigger, better house in an area that I was really excited to live in. So how did I do all of that? Let's talk about it. The first thing I want you to do is think about where you want to live and consider, does it even really make sense for you to buy? A lot of different websites have mortgage calculators, and I highly recommend you go in and play with them so you can get an idea of what your monthly mortgage would be compared to what your monthly rent would be. So if it feels really risky for you, renting is okay. But one thing about renting is you're not actually investing in your future. You're investing in the right now. Even though there's a lot of people predicting what's going to happen with the market, they're not always right. Be sure to check out our other content on Groove about how much house you can actually afford. Buying your first home is likely one of the biggest purchases you'll ever make, at least up to this point. So don't stretch yourself too thin. Otherwise, you're going to wind up with a roommate or more. I had 3 at one point. Or worst case, you could end up losing the home, which could be pretty traumatic. The next thing I want you to do is talk to a lender and get pre-qualified. They will look at your income, they will look at your accounts, and they'll let you know exactly what you'll be approved for. So as you are dream scrolling on all of the real estate apps, you'll know what number to put for max price. It can be heartbreaking to fall in love with a house that you don't qualify for. Believe me, I've done it. A lender is not going to charge you anything upfront to look at your numbers and tell you what you qualify for, so you might as well go for it. And when considering your budget, consider the utilities that you're going to pay, the streaming services you're going to have, gas, electric, and does the property have a homeowners association that's going to have a monthly fee? Those fees can vary depending on the home, the neighborhood, and the history of the building. There's a lot that goes into how much an HOA is, so if you've identified a home that you'd like, take a look at the listing or ask the realtor about the HOA fees if there are any at all. And please don't make assumptions about how much your monthly mortgage payment is going to be. A lot of times on these real estate websites or apps, they give an estimate based on 20% down with today's interest rate. But of course, your credit score is going to impact that, and there's some other things that go into it. So again, talk to a lender and play with a mortgage calculator. There are a lot of first-time home buying options and mortgage products out there for people with just about every budget. So you may not necessarily have to put 20% down. I've seen them as low as 5. In fact, it's pretty common to see 3.5% down. Again, it depends on your situation. So if you're looking at a $500,000 house, don't make an assumption that you have to put $100,000 down and you're nowhere near saving for that. You might be able to put down a lot less. And be sure to watch our video on how to get a down payment for your house.